Hi, welcome to this part of my guide and review of the FlexTale Solo Adventuring Toolkit. If you haven't seen the other parts of my guide and review, please check out the playlist in the description below. This time we are going to talk about the different Slay quest templates. But before that, I would like to talk about this channel's sponsor, Heroes and Hardships. This is a universal RPG system. The Kickstarter is about to begin. With this RPG system, you can play any sort of genre, theme, story, campaign, adventure, etc. You can create any character that you can imagine. In the description of this video, I'm going to put links to the website, to the Kickstarter, to the Discord, with information about the upcoming setting Tetsubo, inspired in Japan's Sengoku era. I am also going to put links to my reviews of the Quick Start Guide and the Wallace campaign setting, based on the life and exploits of William Wallace. So please, if you like universal RPG settings, check it out. Now let's continue. First, we have the Slay One Target template. This template is pretty straightforward, quite basic, quite simple, perfect for quick adventures, quick quests rather. So you have the beginning of the quest, and then you need to find the victim to slay, and you collect your reward. Following that, you have the conclusion of the quest. So although there is some room for complexities or some layers to the quest, perhaps related to the weak spot or weak points or weaknesses of the victim to slay, perhaps it's a powerful monster that can only be harmed through certain means by using weapons or spells very specific to that particular enemy. Or perhaps your character needs to undergo some sort of training or learning in order to face this enemy. Following that, we have a template that is a bit more complex, which is the Slay Multiple Targets template. This one is quite similar to the other one. However, because there are multiple targets or multiple victims, then they could pool their resources against you. Maybe you will have to fight them at the same time, maybe one by one. The typical example would be reading a certain area, zone, site of a number of critters or vermin or monstrous creatures. It depends on the role-playing game, on the setting, on the adventure. So the potential complexity lies in fighting against several foes at the same time or one by one. Added to that, the individual strengths and weaknesses of your opponents. So maybe you will have to prepare for each one individually, or perhaps you will have to get ready to fight against all of them at the same time. So, like I said, it's a bit more complex than the other one, and potentially more fun if you are looking for a certain variety of methods or processes in order to complete this quest. Following that one, we have a template that feels a bit more interesting when it comes to the journey itself, of traveling from one place to another to find your victim. This is the Distant Target template. So you begin the quest. You need to travel to the destination. You need to find a particular site within that zone or area. Once you do that, you are able to potentially locate your victim and slay your target, and you collect the reward. So I think this is perfect if you want the environment, the location itself, to present a bit of a challenge. Not so much that it takes the spotlight away from the target or the victim, but enough to feel that you need to locate or uncover the hideout or the whereabouts of this victim. You are not chasing this monster, or villain, or non-player character, or whatever. The target could be considered stationary. Perhaps you need to fight some undead monstrosity within a mausoleum or a necropolis or crypt. That would be the location. So you need to navigate the location in order to fight against the victim. Unlike the other templates, where the location itself doesn't play a prominent role in the slaying. But once you deal with the victim, the location could serve a greater purpose if you consider it logical within the scheme of things. Maybe this location connects to other quests. Then we have the Slay Protected Target template. This is the most complex template in my opinion, because there is something keeping you from your victim, from your target. Perhaps the target is a politician or a religious leader or the head of a corporation, and obviously they have this army of worshippers or followers or whatever that are ready to sacrifice themselves to keep the figure, the religious leader, the politician, etc., safe from your attacks. So you need to deal with this obstacle first. Perhaps the obstacle is not a living thing. Maybe when it comes to an adventuring site, in the case of the other template, the site itself could be a bit more conventional, but in this case, because you have an obstacle, maybe there is a giant magical barrier or dome keeping you away from the target. Or maybe there is some sort of warping or portal effect that makes it impossible for you to reach your target without being teleported to another location or warped to another dimension even. So like I said, there could be more room for nuances, layers, complexity when it comes to this protected target template. It's all about the obstacle that is keeping you away from your target or victim. And this concludes this part of the guide and review. In the next part, we are going to talk about deliver quests. So, slay quests are pretty straightforward, but these two templates that appear at the end of the section could require the involvement of magical items, very specific spells, perhaps weapons, the resources and help of an important non-player character, because in the other two templates that is just about slaying the target or targets, you can also insert that related to weaknesses and strengths of your targets. But in the case of the location and the obstacle, so many other things could be involved, many other non-player characters, adventure sites that go beyond the conventional sensibilities of hazards and traps. It is one thing to get across a pit to reach your target, but there is certainly more complexity or difficulty if you have to travel back in time or forwards in time because your target, your victim, is located in another time or place altogether. Like I said, this could be another dimension. You will have to fight perhaps a number of organizations, political forces, in order for you to accomplish your quest. Thank you for watching this part of the review. If you have any comments or questions, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that have been going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wants to further support the channel, you can do so via an Amazon gift card or a drive-thru RPG gift certificate. The information on how to do that will be in the description below. Once again, thank you, and see you later.